What was the scariest city you've ever been to? Port-au-Prince, saw a newly shot woman on the sidewalk and the next day, a human finger in a trash heap. Had a college classmate from Haiti. He said he saw someone get decapitated with a machete on the way to school once. I have family in Haiti, and I remember going to a wedding with armed guards outside. Being from the States, they let me hold an AK-47. They probably shouldn't have, I was pissed drunk, luckily nothing bad happened. I knew a woman who went to Haiti for volunteer disaster relief. If I remember correctly, it was the 2010 earthquake and hurricane. When she arrived, she said it was complete chaos and somehow ended up at a local hospital. Once there, people started bringing her injured persons, asking her what to do. She was not a medical provider of any kind, but there was no hospital staff or anyone with medical experience available either. She was, however, an environmental lab technician, so was aware of basic medical protocols and was certified in first aid. She said she ended up suturing quite a few cuts. I'm certified in first aid too, but in the US we only do first aid as a way to stop further damage, with the expectation that professional medical help will be available soon. I'm not sure what I'd do if I had to help an injured person in a major disaster like that, with a slim likelihood that a medical provider would be available anytime soon. I get a lot of immigrants that come to work with me. I like to chat them up, learn about their country, ask if they'd recommend visiting. One day I was talking to a guy from Afghanistan and a fella from Haiti. I asked them if I should visit their countries. The Afghan chuckled and said, "No. It would not be nice for someone like you right now, I'm blindingly white." The Haitian got super somber and said, "No, it would not be nice for anyone." The doorman in my hotel in Johannesburg stopped me as I was walking out and told me, "You won't last 5 minutes out there. Go back to your room where it's safe." I have a permanent scar on my forehead from Kingston. A little reminder of my last visit to Jamaica. People scampering to get on a bus, climbing on each other's backs, an old-fashioned Coke bottle was thrown at the bus and exploded into the crowd. One shard hit me right above the eye. There are no ambulances or police to come rescue you. Had to walk for a few miles in the heat to the nearest doctor, covered in blood. Got stitches. Boarded the plane with a bloody patch on my head. Fought the urge to kneel down and kiss the carpet at the Philadelphia airport. Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. Every property surrounded by solid fences topped with razor wire, and if you can afford it, patrolled by armed guards and guard dogs. As a visitor, you should never use a local taxi, or walk outside your hotel compound at night. I went there as a 15 white boy with blonde hair and blue eyes for their national swimming comp, and we were hosted by families. The lady hosting us said to me right after we got there, "If you want to go for a walk, don't take any money or wear a watch because you will get robbed." The word will was so crazy to me, not if or could, it was will. Others that stand out. They had a 14-year-old security guard who was a member of the most feared gang in PNG, so younger than me. They informed us that this is because if anyone touched their home, they would enforce it. They had a beautiful home, but it was surrounded by barbed wire and 2 huge German shepherds and 2 maids. They had satellite with every movie in the theaters and hundreds of channels. They informed me that copywriting was not enforceable in PNG. True not, I didn't care, it was awesome. One of the best swimmers at the comp was attacked and stabbed with a piece of corrugated iron and his friend abducted on the first night of the meet. Anytime there was a red light at a stoplight, they just blew through it because they would get carjacked. People would stare at you and smile and have these crazy eyes and bright red stains on their teeth from eating betel nut. It was so hot and humid during the day, they didn't let us compete from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There is a lot more. With this, the place, the people, the culture, is insanely beautiful. Rizhao, China. Not scary so much like the others, China is insanely safe, but extremely creepy. I felt like I was on a movie set. First off, it's a city of 500,000, but it's built for a population of 10 million. But it's not like those ghost cities out west, where there never was anyone. It seemed like it was actually a big city, but everyone just left suddenly. The beaches were well maintained and empty. The buses ran frequently and were empty. The streets were lined with all the usual Chinese stuff and were empty. We went into a breakfast restaurant, and the food was great, but we were the only custom and the staff seemed surprised to see us. We asked for directions to the famous fish market. No one there could tell us where it was. It turned out to be about 750 meters away. It was massive and filled with vendors selling huge quantities of incredibly fresh fish. It was mostly empty. Also, almost everything was open until the wee hours of the morning, if not 24 hours. This is unusual even in the biggest Chinese cities, let alone this abandoned town. It was just an unsettling experience all around. I ended up driving through this tiny town in the middle of Nevada that I assume used to be a mining town. It looked like a steady paycheck hadn't been seen in this town for 20 years, the houses were all dilapidated, and the locals looked just as worn out. Bullet holes and burn marks could be seen on pretty much every building. The only reason I drove through the town instead of just sticking to the main road was to top up on gas, but I couldn't find anything, not even a small convenience store. It must have been hell for those folks, considering the closest town with an actual store and gas was around 70 miles away. Edit: I took a look via Google Earth at some of the townspeople mentioned and I found it. Gabs, Nevada. Definitely not a place I'd want to go back to. Nevada is a world of its own. You will be driving on the moon, then see a brothel ran out of a motorhome with Greek pillars on the entrance. Then the Tanapa Clown Hotel in what looks like a western set for a movie. I can't say for certain the danger level, but I'm not gonna tempt fate. Juarez, Mexico. I'm an Irish/Mexican. Redhead. Went with cousins to see my aunt and uncle. At the time, 07, it was the most murderous city on earth. My family members were in a cartel. There was a cartel war going on. Had armed men all around at all times. For all the money, and cars, and opulence at their home, it was like being in prison. The tension in the air was thick. I was treated like a king, but that whole week, I was terrified inside. Different world. Was told, no matter what happens, do not call police. They worked for the other guys. I was told that if shit kicked off, and anyone made it through the gates, to grab a gun and shoot myself. That would be the best possible outcome. I haven't been back. Thanks for watching.